Okay, so we are on to the last language feature which has been added in Java 15, which is text blocks. And this has been added as a standard language feature now. It was introduced as a preview language feature in Java 13. So let's see what this feature is about. Okay, so now let me go back to my to my IDE and see what we have for text blocks. Oh my God, I don't have any code. That is okay. So let me define it. So what is the problem? Okay. So the problem that text blocks is trying to solve is it is making it easier for you to write multi-line string values without the need of having those concatenation operator or the escape sequences, which really make it hard for us to read long multi-line string values. So let me start with a simple, a short string. And I really like to kind of compare that with a small child. How many of you have kids? Or even if you don't have kids, you should have seen neighbors' kids. Do you like the kids when they're small? Ah, they're so cute. They really can't, they're not pain in the, I don't want to say that. They're really not a lot of pain. They're so cute. They usually do what you tell them to do. You just feed them and put them off to sleep. That's so nice. So let's say I am just a little kid. So this is looking cute, just a simple line of text, a string value, which is easy to read. Let's see what happens when it grows up. It says, now I am a toddler and you can see me running here and there. Can you see the problem? We already have a lot of text in this string, and this is kind of getting a little not so easier to read. Now, I am a preteen. So my younger daughter is a preteen. Ah, I know she's cute and she's nice, but she is a rebellion. And it's not easy to kind of figure out what she's thinking. And it's not easy to read her mind the way I cannot read the string now. Now, what happens when your kid wants to learn a new language? Let's find an example which is written in other language. Wow. So here we have, let's say, a JSON value. Can I use this value and let's say, okay, wow, this looks nice. Yes. Now I cannot read this value at all because I need to have the escape sequences so that I can escape the double quotes, which I want to be a part of the string. And this could happen for values like JSON. This could happen for your string values. Let's say I had other examples. It could happen for your HTML text where you want. So there would be a lot of places where you want where you would like to store values like HTML, JSON, your HTML SQL query, sorry, or probably just let's say code written in Java or some other language. Could be JavaScript. I don't know, in any language that you want to store and you want to move that around. What happens when you actually save all those, define all those values as string in Java? It is quite difficult to do so because the strings are no longer readable. What can you do? Can you just have a magic wand and you could say, oh my God, can I not do that? Not a good idea to be using EAP right before your presentation. I keep telling that to me, and every time I do that, I should stop doing that. So with 2020.2, let me quickly pull that out if I could start that. So IntelliJ IDEA 2020.2, right? So this is, so let me see if I could show that to you by bringing another older instance of IntelliJ IDEA. Should be up in just a moment. Yes. Yes. It's taking a lot more time because I am sharing my screen using the Zoom webinar. Otherwise, it's quite much faster, right? So it's loading the components, which is great. Now let me, it's opening an old project, but that's okay. I can pull up the other project that I was working on. Let me say, okay. So it would do some bits of loading before it can actually, okay, so manage projects and that is not good. Where is my project? Oh my God, okay. Why can I not see my project? Open recent. Okay, so this is, oh no. Okay, so let me go back to this and let me create, because in the stable version, I have an intention in IntelliJ IDEA where I can just click on this. Oh my God, I have it here. That was so stupid of me. So what I can do is by using, so I could see that this is in a dark yellow background. I know IntelliJ has some suggestions for me. I can use Alt and Enter and see what the suggestions are. And I can replace it with the text block and see this is much more readable now. Running here and there, and see. And of course, this was a bit out of the formatting because I did not define how the trailing spaces should have been used. Now, this brings me to the next point, which is the incidental white space. How would you like the text blocks to kind of take this space? Should that be a part of your string value or should that not be? So if you can see a vertical green line here, this shows how your incidental spaces are shown by IntelliJ IDEA, which show you what is it that is part of your string and what is it not. And you can move around any value in your string to see how this line moves with it. And then this would also become a part of your text, of your string variable text. And some other details. And of course, you can also move around the closing delimiter. As you can see, the closing and the opening delimiters for this text block are 3 double quotes. That's a kind of a tongue twister. And instead of a single quote. And that's how you could have a single quote the within a text block. And so we talked about, so you can use a couple of escape sequences to figure out or to kind of define whether you want a new line at the end of the line or you want the trailing spaces at the end. So there are a couple of options, which I don't think I have the time. We are already going overboard. Right. So, and this is not another new kind of string, which is Java, which is being introduced by Java. We are talking about the same old string type. As you can see, if I talk about the quick documentation of this variable text, it still shows me the string type. So Oracle is not introducing a new type to the language. This is more of syntactic sugar. So now the compiler is doing a lot of heavy weightlifting instead of us developers being asked to do so. And there's another thing which I would like to share is, let's say I define, so let me take it a bit higher, and I say JSON is equal to, I make it, um, and yes, you cannot have the opening and the closing you must have a new line after the opening delimiter, otherwise the code would not compile. So that's mandated by the language. Let's say I have this here, the JSON value as a text block. I could inject the reference or language in a string in IntelliJ IDEA. I could say Alt and Enter. I could say inject language or reference. Let me say that this is JSON. And what I get is, uh, can you see this red underline here? That really means that IntelliJ IDEA can detect the language which I just injected, and because as you can see I missed a comma here, so if I add that comma I get, uh, of course this code is compiling now. So by injecting language or reference, which you can do both to your regular strings and text blocks, you get the features like error highlighting and auto completion as well. And you could do that for your regular strings and for the text blocks, both of them. So now let me go back and see. Okay, so we don't really have the time. We're already 10 minutes beyond 11. Um, Shavik, do we have more time? Could I
Yeah, yeah.
quickly?
Mala, the session is till 12 o'clock, so there's a 2-hour session. Please don't hurry because of that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. Okay, so even though switch expressions is not a part of Java 15, it became a standard language feature in Java 14. So let me quickly hop on to an example to show what switch expression is and how you can use it. So let me go to my project window and see what do we have here. Okay, so this is an enum, which is a single-use plastic. I have a couple of constants here, and this is another example, a regular example, not so I would say not a lot going on here. I just have a method where I'm defining a variable assigned to 0, and I'm switching on the method parameter that I'm passing to it. And depending on the value which is being passed, I assign a certain value to my variable damage, and I just break out of this switch branch. Now, what is the problem with this switch construct? Number one is, if you can see, there are a lot of repetitions here. I must have a break statement in every switch, excuse me, in every switch branch. Otherwise, the control will fall by default to the next branch. So we don't want this to happen. And the other repetition you can see is the assignment of a certain value to a variable. So I can see damage is equal to a value, then I could see again the same being repeated. So what happens when you are looking for improvements in your code? So repetition is the first place probably that you can look for to improve your code, because whenever we are talking about repetitions, there are going to be hidden bugs. So, and the other thing is, as obvious from the code, each case label is trying to assign a value to the variable damage, but and it's not kind of returning the value to be assigned to the variable, but it is doing the assignment itself, which is again a repetition. And probably this could be, if that could be like an expression which returns a value. So Oracle heard you. Let's see what we can do with switch expressions. Now, again, because it's in the yellow background, I could use the inspection in IntelliJ IDEA, and I could quickly change it to a switch statement. And what else can I do? I can also inline this variable. So the switch statement that I was switch construct or yes, the statement that I showed to you could be replaced by this. In this case, I don't really need a default clause because I am already taking care of all the possible values that could be passed to this method, because I'm talking about an enum which has finite values. And what more? Um, so this switch expression is being used to return a value that literally means that it can return a value, and it is being used as an expression and not as a statement. The other thing is that if, let's say, I am returning the same value from two switch labels, I can actually merge them to oh, that's funny. So for class plate and cup, I'm returning the same value. So what I can do is I can use alt and enter, and I can say merge with the previous case label. So I could have multiple values in the same switch label, which was not possible until now with the switch constructs. The other thing is, it's not just about returning a value. I could also, let's say, define code. I could say int age is equal to 10. I could say that was a reminder for me, right? But Savik said I could take a couple of more minutes, and I could even go out for a walk, or I could, let's say, dance. I don't know, sing. I sing very badly. Don't ask me to sing. But I could do anything that I want to in this blog, but by the end of it, I must return a value, and that would make it happy, because I'm talking about an expression which must return a value in all the cases. So this is what you can do with your switch expressions. Of course, Java hasn't taken off the switch constructs. You can still use the switch constructs, the statements, as you have been used to using them. But this is, of course, a more concise way. So if you have been used to working with lambdas, you would really like this syntax, or compact syntax. What else? I think that's really it. So let me go back. Okay, yes, and you can use this link. So I recently published a blog on Java-15 with IntelliJ IDEA. So you can use this link to have a lot more examples on records, text blocks, switch expressions, and sealed classes and interfaces too. So thank you, everyone.